Alright everyone, so another day, another trailer, and we have got now the first, it's a teaser really, for CLAYFACE. Now CLAYFACE is a villain in Batman. It is linked to the DCEU, I think they call it, do they call it DCEU? Or is DCU? DC. The DC, Zack Snyder, not Zack Snyder, James Gunn's DC universe, like we had the Superman, I think Creature Commandos was in it. This is the next one, it's CLAYFACE. So they're doing the kind of what they did with the Spider-Man things, where they're making films on the villains. I'm hoping the DC version of that is better, because we all know those villain Spider-Man movies not good. Like what was it? Craven the Hunter and all that had their own films, and Venom weren't too bad, but the sequels got a bit worse and worse. I'm hoping that DC is better. I mean that is the first shot in the trailer. That is terrifying. We're going to see what happens. Let's have a look. Just like staring. I don't like he's staring at us. Oh God. What the hell? Oh. No! Oh no! October. Right, that is right. Okay, so right, so we obviously this is one of those flashing images trailers where you don't really see. You're gonna have to get your good on pause game, as you know if you watch my videos. I'm rubbish at pausing things, but that looked like a straight up horror movie. That looked like a straight up body horror movie. It looks gruesome, it looks graphic. I don't know what the rating's going to be on this. I don't think it told us there, but to me that looks 15 plus, that's for sure. Possibly even 18 with some what I just saw them. Now the CLAYFACE character is basically he's this actor who's really good at acting. I can't remember what happened. Somehow he ends up getting deformed and he becomes this like, as this ability sort of changes form. So he's like almost like he's made out of clay, where he can like change to look like other people and that, and he can look like Bruce Wayne or whoever he wants to look like in the Batman world. And he's quite a scary villain because he goes proper CLAYFACE. He's very good. If you ever watch the animated series, he's good in that as a villain. I mean, let's be honest with you. DC's villains, like the Batman Rogues Gallery, every one of them, if they weren't part of the Rogues Gallery, could make a great standalone horror movie. So maybe that's what James Gunn's doing. He's going like, right, these characters deserve their own horror movies, and we're going to give the origin stories as horror movies. And then we'll get back to the cartoon stuff. I mean, if you think about how light and bright and colourful Superman was, and you compare it to that, that is quite creepy. And obviously, I think that Robert Pattinson's Batman isn't part of James Gunn's world or plan, but he's said they can go ahead with their Batman, and he's going to do his own. So if this is his, oh, that's nasty. So I don't know what he's up to, but like that, right? That scene, this here, I'm getting Clockwork. Have you ever seen the beginning of Clockwork Orange, where you've got, was it McDowell, who's sitting in the chair, and the camera just slowly comes into him, and he's just staring right down into the camera, just staring at it, just like that the whole time. It's creepy scene. It's kind of like that, because he's literally staring at us through the cameras, through the screen. Right, so no idea who that actor is. I can't think of anything he's ever been in. Looking at him now, I'm probably seen him in something, but it's not ringing any bells from his face. And you see his face quite a lot in this trailer. I'm going to try and pause it at certain bits. Right, so there he is there. Yeah, what is he from? So obviously he's an actor. He's very, very famous actor. He does lots of theatre stuff and that. He's a very good looking dude as well, but in the comics that is. Oh, I missed that. I wasn't even looking. Like that, right, that scene we just saw there, he's got wearing like a plastic mask over his face. Now, if you're a wrestling fan, and you know Cody Rhodes is, earlier on in his career, he had this character where he damaged his face. I think he got whacked in the nose or something. And because his character was kind of the pretty boy character, he got so freaked out that his face was damaged, he wore a plastic mask over his face. And it looked a lot like the image I just saw there. So it was like undashing Cody Rhodes. This is obviously, I think it was like a thing they injected into them that made him go all putty and clay. See his face melting away there. And look, that's it. Oh. Right. This here is reminding me of the Chucky TV series. If you ever watched the Chucky TV series, every time it started, the word Chucky was written in different ways, and that's very similar to that. It's obviously, that's obviously like plasticine or something. Well, it's clay, isn't it? But it's that stuff. I should have done a stop motion with a plasticine. Like, remember Michael Jackson's Moonwalk with all the... Anyway. Right, now I think that scene there, we see the shadow. You can see like his hand has become like a mace with spikes, and he's... Now he does that a lot in the comic, where he makes his hand become almost like Venom does, where he sort of like... Or Carnage, so he makes the blades out of his finger, slices people. It's like, so he makes like weapons out of himself, because he can manipulate his entire body like a ball of clay, and he can turn it into whatever he wants. So, and it's like, that's what I think we see there in killing people. Now, this is the bit I want to cut. I hope I can pause on this where you see the face go down. Yeah, there, look. So he can manipulate his entire body like that. His whole body can be made, it's like out of clay. He can change his face and shape at will. That is creepy. That looks horrible. This does look like a body horror movie. Stop it there, because that's quite cool. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on this? I mean, they could do this with all of them. Bane would make a fantastic horror movie standalone. If you ever read the comic books, there was a comic book called The Vengeance of Bane. I've got it somewhere, and it's like the story of Bane, him being like born in the prison, right, like as a child in the prison, having to get solitary after he learns he can kill people, and he kills his cellmate, goes into solitary, starts to train his body and his mind to become like the perfect like fighter, basically, so that he can rule the prison, which he does. And when he breaks out of the prison, because his mentality, his whole life has been to be the ruler, he then tries to rule Gotham. That will make a fantastic movie. Before you even get to Batman, that's a great movie. They could do that like this, and that I'd watch that. I've always wanted a proper Bane story. As much as Tom Hardy was great in the Dark Knight Rises, it wasn't Bane. And definitely the Bane from Batman and Robin was definitely not Bane. But the actual story of Bane is so good. It's actually my favourite comic story, is the whole Vengeance of Bane and the Dark Nightfall, Night's End and all that. That's the best Batman ever written. So I'd love to see Bane. The Joker, obviously, we kind of got the Joker with that Joaquin Phoenix one, but I was never a fan of that. But a decent Joker, I don't want a Joker origin. I just like a Joker movie. A decent one. You don't need an origin with a Joker. I still think he's better as like a Storm. And just watch the fallout after he's been there. But like Man-Bat would make a fantastic horror movie. A man that turns into a giant mutant bat. Two-Face would be a great one, with a story of him getting the face messed up. That'd be fantastic. The Penguin ought to be a good one. I mean, every single one of Batman's villains. Killer Croc, come on, that's calling out for a horror movie. How he becomes Killer Croc and where all that turned out from. Oh, that'll be amazing. And then you go into a Batman film. And I think that was the plan for the whole Marvel Sony-verse, the Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man. We had all those different films like Madam Web, and Morbius was another one. It was an idea that never worked. And it's James Gunn going, that's a great idea. But if we did it a bit better, boom. And this is what I think he's doing. He's giving them... CLAYFACE is getting a horror movie by the looks of that, and I'm on board for that. I think that's a genius idea. Well done, James Gunn, for that one. And I'm excited for it. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to see what comes because of that. I just hope it doesn't do what they did with the Spider-Man version of it, and it just goes down. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this. I hope you've enjoyed this trailer reaction. I hope they let me keep the trailer in, because sometimes when I do these videos, I get a little saying you can't have that in there and you have to get rid of it. And it is a shame, because it kind of like ruins my whole video, but it's just the way it is, copyright stuff and that. But that one, I'm hoping it'll be okay. If not, obviously you'll know, because I'll have to edit it out somehow, and I'll put like a picture there so you can't see it or something. I don't know. I'll work something out. But again, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you're going to go rush out to go and see that one, and what villains of any comic book villain do you think should get their own movie, and it could be horror based? Which comic book villain do you think would make a really good horror based movie? And I'll see you later, guys, and have a good night. Bye.